Good evening, Spartans, and welcome to the Township of Ocean Intermediate School, our virtual open house for the 2020-21 school year. We have a great show for you tonight. First off, I'd like to begin with some shout-outs. I want to give shout-outs, to so many different people. There has been so much time and effort and sacrifices put in to making this school year get off onto a good start. So I'd like to first start out with our parents. Parents, your students were prepared. Thank you for taking the time to read through our district plan and make sure your kids are coming to school prepared and meeting the expectations that we put on to them. We understand that this is a middle school and, kids are going to be kids, but I'll tell you right now that they're definitely stepping up and they're definitely exceeding our expectations in many areas. So thank you for that. I also feel that our communication has definitely been better since this whole pandemic once it originally started. So, please keep up with the communication with us. We do enjoy those open lines of communication. And how about a shout out to our teachers? Our teachers have put in so much time and effort. I mean, their time and effort has been second to none. From the onset of the pandemic last year, till now and continuing through, a lot of teachers have been forced to work out of their comfort zone. They've had to reinvent lesson plans. Things that they've been working and building on for years and years were thrown out the window and everything was created new. So I do want to just thank our teachers for all the effort that they've put in to making this school year be a success and to be that support and structure to our students. And we just are so appreciative of them. And, I just want to say that I honestly feel so blessed to be part of this community and part of this team. So I want to start out with just tonight's agenda, just to let you know that for fifth grade, there's going to be a general meeting at 7 o'clock. Ms. Source is going to lead that meeting. I'll be in there handling the chat room. And then around 7:25, your first meeting will start with your homeroom, your student's homeroom teacher. And then you'll get a 5-minute intermission as you get to the team teacher's classroom. And that starts at 7:45 and ends at 8 o'clock. For grades 6 through 8, it will be slightly different. You're going to follow the bell schedule. Every teacher, you'll meet with every teacher for about 8 minutes. And we're going to start with the red day schedule and work our way through. You have about 4 minutes in between each class to just click on the next link. As you already know, because you got this video from our Google site, if you just scroll down a little bit, you will see an alphabetical list of all your teachers, and you just find their name and click on the link and it will take you right to their meeting. Some of the meetings are going to be live, and some of them are going to be pre-recordings. Regardless of either one, we do know that the information that is being put out to you tonight is going to be very important and really set our students up for success for the school year. I do want to remind you that tonight is not a conference. Tonight is about gathering information for the school year. So we're setting up expectations. If you do need to have any private conversations or provide us any insight on your students, please make sure that you contact the teacher directly or the guidance counselor. We can set up a team meeting. But just a reminder that we have a lot of important information to get through tonight, and we don't have a ton of time. So, please let's schedule individual conferences for another time. There is one other thing on our agenda tonight. In a typical year, normally we have our commons where a lot of our supervisors and administrators are there to support parents as they're passing through the hallways and answer any general questions. But we are going to have a virtual commons this year. We do have several supervisors that are prepared to meet and answer any of your questions, and that is all the way at the bottom of the page. You can just click on the link at the given time and there'll be someone there to assist you. Okay, so let's move on. I just want to introduce the whole administrative staff. Once again, I'm Chris Amato. I am the principal here. We do have Miss Valerie Source. She's our assistant principal for grades 5 through 8 this year. And Mr. Patrick O'Neill, he is our acting assistant principal for grades 6 and 7. If you have any questions at any of those grade levels, please feel free to contact any one of us. We do have 2 bell schedules this year. And move my picture out of the way while I'm talking about this. So we do have 2 bell schedules to start the year. We have our full day or in-person bell schedule, and that is on the top left corner. That's the full day schedule. As we've already mentioned before, and you should know this at this point, but we've merged homeroom and block 1 just to remove one of the transition times. Down in the bottom right corner is our Wednesday or all remote day schedule, and that's an early dismissal schedule, but we do need our students to show up to class on time and be active the whole time on the remote days, especially showing up on time, as it does impact the flow of the class. Just want to talk a little bit about pickup and drop-off procedures next. Okay, so pickup and drop-off procedures. Everything is going to be on the west side of the building, okay, which is, if you ever get confused about which side is the west side of the building, where the American flag is, that's the west side of the building. So the early drop-off begins at 7:30. Please follow the traffic patterns. We do have our security guards outside that are helping control the flow of traffic. And the same thing goes with pickup. Once again, west side of the building. I do know with pickups, sometimes there is a little bit of traffic sitting on West Park Avenue, and it looks very daunting. But please just follow the traffic patterns. It allows for a safe, loading and unloading of the students into the cars, and you really don't want any of the students working their way down to West Park Avenue, as we fear that's a safety issue. So we ask that the students, you follow traffic patterns so the students can load as close to the front benches as possible. We do have this new fancy deck box out in front of the main office. This is for student personal belongings. If anything needs to be dropped off to school, we ask you to just follow 3 steps. Really, for the parents, it's 2 steps, but there will be a 3-step process in making sure that your student can access those personal belongings. 1, you arrive to school with a labeled bag or item, and you place it into the box. After you place the labeled item in the box, please call the main office at the number listed here, 732-531-5630, extension 7000, and then alert us that you put an item in the box. Once you alert us that you put an item in the box, we will then call your student and let them know that there's an item there, and at an appropriate time, they will come down to retrieve their item. I want to talk about attendance for a few minutes. First off, I want to be clear that there is attendance being taken for both in-person and remote instruction. It is our responsibility to supervise your children, so that's why we need them on the screen on time, and we need to know that they are present and active in class. So, so students can be marked absent or tardy in both in-person and remote instruction. So please make sure, especially on the remote end, that we are getting on to class on time and in a timely manner. Okay. As always, though, if your student is going to be absent for any reason, please call the appropriate house office, and we will note students' absences. After 3 consecutive days, we may require a doctor's note, especially this year with everything going on with the pandemic. If absences really start to build up, you may receive a letter for excessive absences. And that's why it's really important for you to have communication with us and let us know what's going on. There are laws about excused versus verified. These laws have been in effect for a few years now, but just as a reminder, excused absences are for religious reasons or bring your child to work day. Okay, that means that you don't get a tally mark for those days. A verified absence is you called or you provided us a doctor's note. That's also really important for our record keeping. Okay, I want to talk about classroom expectations now. So we're going to break this up into in-person instruction and remote instruction. So in-person instruction, we need our students to come prepared with the materials for their day. Okay, the most important thing is probably our fully charged Chromebook, as most of our assignments have gone digital. Students are not using lockers this year, so therefore a backpack for carrying their supplies is very important. And students do enter the school with a face mask, but we do suggest that they bring a second face mask with them. We do have extra face masks with us in case your student's breaks or it gets lost for whatever reason. But they should always carry a second. I do want to remind you that majority of our students here do have cell phones or iPods that they use for communicating. When students come into the building, their phones should be turned off. They should be in their book bags. We do have telephones at every house office or main office. If they need to contact you, they can use that phone. While we're on the bus going to and from school, now more than ever, we need to follow the bus driver's instructions. You should be sitting every other seat. Only siblings should be sitting together, and you must wear a mask at all times. This is obviously a confined space, and we need to make sure that everybody is safe. So wear your mask at all times, please. For remote instruction, once again, please be prepared and on time for class. It really does impact the lesson and making sure that everyone has access to it, a full lesson. So please make sure that you are on time and you are staying actively engaged at all times. This might sound silly, but dress appropriately. I know that you're home, but we don't need to see you in your pajamas. Get up, get early, get to class early, just like you would when you're in school. It's going to help your mindset and get you ready for the day. Please show your picture. As I already mentioned, it is our responsibility to be educating your child while they're home, and for us to be supervising and making sure that they are doing everything appropriately. And it really does help us if they are showing their image. Also, use the chats appropriately. No inappropriate or offensive language or even jokes. The comments should be on task, and please use that appropriately. Just as a reminder for our remote students or anybody that is working on a remote day, that we do have a user agreement when it comes to the use of our technology, and that does apply whether you are in school, in person, or at home. Okay, I want to talk about lunches. So far, I think lunches was the one area that a lot of people were concerned with as they came back to school. And I just, once again, think that our students are exceeding our expectations, especially in this area. The masks are only off when they're eating. They're very respectful in the fact that when they're throwing out their garbage, their mask is on. If they go to the bathroom, their mask is on. So that has been working really well. We do have 3 lunchroom locations. We have the cafe, the commons, and an outside area. I'll touch back on that in a second. I do want to just remind our families that you can pre-order your meals. If you do pre-order your meals, when your student gets in line, there's usually a person right at the front of the line greeting the kids and also making sure that they are staying socially distant. At that time, they should tell that person that they pre-ordered a meal, and then we will get the meal for them. Also, just so you know, we will be providing free lunches for all students until December. If your student forgot a lunch, don't fret. They can just get right into the lunch line, and they can grab a lunch, and it is at no cost to you. I already mentioned the 3 lunchroom locations. I did want to talk about the outside area. Early on, within the first couple of days, we realized that we can probably put more seats outside, and we did make that adjustment. So we do have a tented area, but then we do have tables that, are just out in the sun, and the kids can catch some rays and things of that nature. So since we have increased that outside seating area, I think things have worked much better. There really hasn't been a lunch period where there weren't available seats, so that's good. And it really does seem like students have kind of found their own little areas that they're comfortable sitting at right now and with their friends, and they are getting that opportunity to socialize as well. Support staff, I just wanted to run through very quickly. Our guidance counselors, our child study team members, and our SAC counselor, they are all available for you to talk to tonight if you need to. We've included their emails and their phone extensions if you need to talk to them about anything. But in 5th grade, we have Mrs. Brown. In 6th grade, Mrs. Macaluso. In 7th grade, Summer Kamarakis. And in 8th grade, Jane D'Ambrosio. Those are our guidance counselors. Our child study team members include, we have 2 LDTCs, which is Jen Marks and Dana Magliero, and we have 2 school psychologists, which is Melissa Grandinetti and Jen Voorhees. This year, we do have our own SAT counselor, and it is Lena Jaramillo. She was excellent, and we are just so happy that she is part of our team. Our administrative assistants, we know that these are the women that are keeping us on track and making sure that everything is going out on time and that we are doing everything right, and just want to acknowledge them and just also let you know that how the extensions where you can reach them. In the main office, we have Mrs. Burgess and Mrs. Fornicola. In the 5th grade house office, we have Mrs. Maria Connery. In the 6th grade house office, Mrs. Ann Weinstein. And then in the 7th and 8th grade house office, Mrs. Sue Nelson. Just a little bit of info from our nurses. First off, we have 2 nurses, Nurse Karen and Nurse Twee. They can be reached at extension 7011. And Mrs. Deroni, who is also in there helping out, she's at extension 7010. Now more than ever, the communication with our nurses is so important. If you have any concerns throughout the year, please let us know. If you have to, if your child needs medication, we're going to need a doctor's note. There'll be some forms that need to be filled out. Please just make sure you're communicating with them. We certainly hope that there's no fractures or broken bones or sprained ankles or anything of that kind. But if there ever is, please provide us with a doctor's note, and we will work with you, and we can even provide some accommodations for your student. In addition to that, just so you're aware, we routinely check records for immunizations, and we make sure that everything is up to date. You may get a phone call from the nurse every once in a while saying that you need to update your records, and just please work with our nurses on that. Now more than ever, once again, if your child has any types of symptoms, we just think that we should err on the side of caution, but especially anything with vomiting or diarrhea or fever, please keep them home for a day. Let's just monitor symptoms. Let's just be safe. Okay. We in school, we always encourage healthy habits such as hand washing, avoid touching your eyes and your face, eating a good diet. And I think now more than ever, everybody needs to just get a good night rest. I think we are all very wound up, and I think this is, getting rest is very important for all of us. Okay, emergency drills. We do still have to conduct 2 emergency drills a month, which actually turns out to be 4 emergency drills a month right now, because we do have to provide the emergency drills for each cohort. So this last month, we did conduct 2 shelter-in-place drills and 2 fire drills. They are modified. They don't look exactly the same as we always have, but we do have to still conduct these drills. If you ask your students, they can tell you about our drills. Just a few reminders here. Actually, on next Monday, October 5th, is the midway point to marking period 1. So please make sure if you're missing any assignments, you're checking in with your teachers, and we're catching up on anything that needs to be caught up on. For our remote students, picture day is October 7th from 12:30 to 3:30. All you're going to do is pull around to the back of the building by the soccer fields. Your students will exit the car. We have a tented area out back. They will take their picture and then just get right back into your car, and you will be good to go. We're hoping for nice weather. If there is any inclement weather, we will alert you to, Plan B. For all of other students, we do have Makeup Picture Day, which is going to be November 10th for our Cohort A students, which is students with the last names A through K, or November 13th, which is our Cohort B students, which is students with last names L through Z. If you need any help with technology, your Chromebook isn't working, or whatever it is, you don't have Wi-Fi access, please contact our help desk. They are a finely tuned machine, and they are helping so many people out. You can literally reach them at helpdesk@oceanschools.org. Just contact them. They will contact you right back. They will set up an appointment for you to come into school, and we can repair your Chromebook and help you out in any way possible. So please, you can obviously always keep the teacher and or administrators in the loop, but the help desk is going to be your main source for help there. Power School, this is a great tool, once again, for you to use. In the beginning of the year, we did send out emails and survey our parents, and we are almost at 100% of our parents that are on Power School at this point. It's a great way for us to communicate with you. You're going to get instant feedback on your students. You're going to be able to see what assignments are coming up and what's missing and things of that nature. So please, if you're not on Power School, reach out to one of the house offices or the main office, and we can set you up with an account. Now more than ever, communication is key. If you have any questions about lessons or activities or things that are going on in the classroom, please go to your teacher first. They're gonna be the ones that are going to be able to provide you with the most detail and be able to assist you best. So teachers and or guidance counselors, that's who should go to first. Obviously, if you need further help after that, you can contact an administrator. But if you do have any behaviors or incidents that you need to alert us about, that should come right to the administration team. Okay, couple reminders. Another way that we communicate with our families is through social media. We use two ways to communicate. We use first is Twitter. All three of the administration here, we do have our own Twitter accounts, and those are our Twitter handles right there. I'm on top, and then you have Ms. Source and Mr. O'Neill underneath. In addition to that, I do use the Remind app to communicate as well. We do have multiple Remind classrooms out there. We have a lot of people that do follow us on Remind because it kind of shows up just like a text message. So these are 3 classrooms that you can join. We're low on students in those classrooms right now. That's why I added those 3 in there. And like I said, you can it's almost like getting a text message. It just shows right up to your phone. And, this is a great way that we also communicate other than using Web Backpack and other things of that nature in email. Lastly, I just want to say thank you. I want to thank you all for your support. I truly believe that we got this. I think we have a great team that is here providing an education to your students. We really do hope that you enjoy the night. There's been a lot of effort that is put into making this night a success for you. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. And as always, folks, make it a great day. Be safe and be well.